Hey folks, welcome back to HeartGold vs. Crystal. We are here in Cerulean City and we are getting ready to take on Misty, the Cerulean City gym leader. But she's not actually at her gym right now. Instead, we have to take a brief trip over this way to Cerulean Cape once again in order to find her. I don't know if there's actually any indicator that she's out here. Maybe Gym Guy will tell you that she's out here. But this is a romantic getaway. And here she is with a nondescript boyfriend. I do like that they gave her a distinct personality here for what little time she has. Though she does give up on that guy very quickly. But anyway, now that we've fetched her, we can head back to the gym and get ready to fight. Now again, most of you are probably familiar with Misty. Misty especially because she was a major character in the TV show. She is a water type gym leader, and that means grass types and electric types will do well here. I don't think either one can make it on their own, but having one or the other would be greatly beneficial. Having both would be wonderful. Plenty of trainers here too, but no, I don't really care about them. Also, I guess you need Surf to get through this gym, which is a little silly, but whatever, I'll roll with it. And upsy daisy, here we are. Alrighty, so Misty, water type leader for Pokemon, and actually fairly diverse. She starts out with Golduck, which is kind of the boring member of her team. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Golduck, but it is a pure water type, and there's not much to write home about here. Anyway, Frida leading off here with Giga Drain. Frida again should be useful as a grass type, since grass types are super effective against water and resist water type attacks. If they ever try to use a regular water type attack, it won't do too well against her, especially since she's evolved. And Golduck goes down without much trouble. Except Giga Drain is disabled right now, that may come into play. But here we are with Lapras. Now, Lapras is one of the reasons I said that a grass type alone probably couldn't serve you in this gym. Because Lapras is part ice type, and most of you probably know that grass types are weak to ice type moves. And you can bet your butt that this thing has ice type moves. And of course, Lapras is extremely durable, which means let's send out my own durable Pokemon and have some fun. Sleep is but a minor inconvenience. Do kind of have to fish through my inventory to get the full heals though. Generally don't have to deal with this kind of stuff. So yeah, Lapras would be a good Pokemon to bring in your electric type on if you haven't brought it out already. Generally a quick one that is extremely powerful would be your best option. Because Lapras's offenses aren't really anything like, they're not nothing to dismiss as paltry or terrible. They're not amazing, but they should you should consider sneezing at them, I would say. Anyway, yeah, you can see fairly durable there, but the confusion is generally working to my advantage. Lapras would be a good Pokemon to, like, inflict with poison or something, if that is up your alley. She may have rest, I'm not sure. but Confusion, as you can see, working by advantage, getting that last little sliver of HP. If she hadn't hurt herself there, I'd probably have to go through the whole rigmarole again, because she'd bust out the potions, and that would be terrible. Starmie. Starmie is the biggest danger of the team, I would say, and most people who've played a Kanto game can probably remember why, because it is high special attack. And to boot, I didn't know it at the time, but it has Ice Beam too, and Frida is none too fond of that. The flip side, though, is that it isn't the most durable Pokemon in the world, which means that 1 or 2 good hits should take care of it. In this case, 2. And unfortunately, I'm not healed enough to get Frida back to full health, and any further potion spam would just be like PP stalling, and nobody wants that. So let's let Frida take the fall. She did good. Now, Starmie, luckily, is a dual-type Pokemon, which means you can prey off its other typing. It is Water Psychic, which means that Dark-type moves will be super effective. And it means that if ever decides to use Psychic, Everett will completely be immune. Yep, sticking to Ice Beam. So yeah, that's another reason why a pure grass type probably wouldn't fare well in this gym for the entire duration. Because Starmie it's not the slowest thing in the world. It might get a hit in on you. Now you can use the potion. Yes, you are. Isn't that wonderful? If you got a dark type sweeper, that'd be pretty wonderful. But I mean, Everett's not going anywhere, obviously. And here it is, using my own strategy against me. My confusion, one of my favorite things to do. Truly a travesty. And that's no fun either. And unless it decides to heal again, which it probably will, this should be the last hit on Starmie. Now, if you don't have a dark type or an electric type or a grass type, you could get by again with brute force, but I don't recommend brute force all that much. Maybe have something that resists Ice Beam, since she does love to use Ice Beam a lot. Let's see, what resists ice? I think fire resists ice, although I wouldn't recommend bringing a fire type to Misty's gym. Or rock might resist it, but I wouldn't recommend that either. I need to review my type advantages, but consider it. Keep it in mind. Alright, you going down this turn? You are going down this turn. There we go. Now, luckily the Starmie didn't have Recover. Recover is a move that it has in other games, and people hate it for it. Because if you don't have an extremely hard hitter, it can come back from the brink. But since she's using like full restores here anyway, more or less the same thing accomplished. Anyway, her last Pokemon is Quagsire. Quagsire is a water ground type, and that means that a grass type move will absolutely decimate it, but unfortunately Frida is fainted right now and, well, didn't want to use a revive and didn't want to like redo the battle with that foreknowledge. So instead, let's just have Klaus go for a little Swords Dance. Not really a sweep. Swords Dance Pummel. Swords Dance Decimation. Something like that. It does have Amnesia, as you can see. Amnesia increases its special defense by a lot, so maybe use a physical grass type move like Leaf Blade, or just get the hit in quickly. You should be fine. It's quadruple weak. And that takes care of Quagsire. Goodbye. And that takes care of Misty. So, check out the Crystal fight after this commercial break. Alrighty, Crystal. Now, Crystal is actually going to be a bit trickier for me here. For one really big reason. It may not be that big, but it's actually worth noting, is that Frida doesn't have an offensive grass-type move. No Giga Drain, no Solar Beam, nothing like that. So I don't have a super effective move against most of her Pokemon. I don't have one against Quagsire or Golduck. I don't think I have anybody against Lapras, but I will against Starmie, obviously. So that means I'm stuck with Psychic, which isn't a terrible move, and considering she's at a lower level now, I can probably make up the difference. But that's also frustrating because I only have the one offensive move, and Golduck's Disable prevents me from doing damage to her, other than inflicting Toxic or Leech Seed and slowly draining its health, and I don't really want to do that. So switching to Sandra, I don't know if that was just a terrible idea or a mistake or whatever, but yeah, that didn't work out too well. Maybe it was no, it wasn't an intentional switch out to get Frida's Disable away, so I think that was just a terrible idea. But this also means that Webster can get the kill here, assuming the Psychic isn't a one-shot. Which it isn't. Hooray. Good job, Webster, you can survive things. And utilize that Sludge Bomb. No type advantage, but it's stab and it works off the physical attack in this generation, which is great. Now Quagsire, and like I said, I don't have a grass-type move to abuse, so let's send out Everett, I guess, because screw any semblance of originality. There are so many ways I could have taken care of this thing that didn't involve Everett. I don't know why I chose Everett. Look, Everett, I love you. You've saved me so many times. You could probably beat everybody in the region by yourself if you needed to, but this is getting out of hand. This is what it is. Oh, and that's a slow kill right there. And you can see she set up Rain Dance there a while ago. I don't know how long ago, I wasn't paying attention. But if you are, for whatever reason, using some Pokemon that are weak to water here, that will make things infinitely more frustrating for you, because Rain Dance does boost the power of water-type moves. I guess it could be frustrating for Pokemon that are not weak to water, but it does not phase Everett in the slightest, as you can see. Anyway, moving on to Iron Tail. Iron Tail is what I do, hoping for the defense drop, basically, and trying to KO Pokemon slightly quicker with Everett, which is not a thing that ever happens because it's Everett. And then using Headbutt, maybe causing it to flinch? Who knows? This is one of the few opportunities where Everett's apparently faster than the opponent, so Headbutt does have that capability. But no. Now, am I going to let Everett faint here, or was that just confidence that he would use Rain Dance? Entirely possible on either front. Could have been letting Everett take the fall to get the experience on somebody else. Such as Webster again. Now, if Everett outsped Quagsire, Webster can outspeed Quagsire. And so it does, and this looks like a KO, and Webster for the second KO of the match. Wonderful job. Now then, Lapras time. What am I going to do about this Lapras while Everett is fainted? Probably revive Everett. That seems like the most logical thing, since I do actually have quite the ice weakness on on this team. Scary Face, lowered speed. That's good for me because a lot of my team is also very slow, and then that allows me to outspeed it with a variety of things and hopefully get in a KO or a lot of damage before it sends in that Blizzard. It is using Blizzard rather than Ice Beam in this generation, which is higher power, lower accuracy, lower PP. Of course, knowing the way that the computer works, Blizzard will always frickin' hit because screw the computer. Damn it all to hell. Man, I'm just lowering the hell out of these stats. Here's an excellent opportunity for Klaus to actually, like, take some hits and not die. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. It's very rare. Now it's gonna run out of blizzards pretty soon, so we'll have to see what it does after that. I'm not sure, it might have Perish Song, which is a thing that it can have. I know that Lapras do like to have singing related moves, like Sing, for instance, and Perish Song. Now, and its speed's lowered, its defenses are lowered. Looks like I should be able to inflict a decent amount of damage with strength. And it's a two-shot, excellent. And now it's reduced to Surf, and Surf not going to do much to Klaus, hopefully. Excellent. And down that Lapras goes. See, there are alternative methods for taking down extremely annoying durable Pokemon, other than sending out an Umbreon. I just usually go for the Umbreon. Anyway, last Pokemon, Starmie. This time saving the best for last. And my team is pretty, like, small right now, so I'm gonna do what I probably should have done to Lapras as well. I'm gonna bust out Toxic. Now, Toxic is the TM that I got from Janine after beating her. You'll remember that, it's Crystal exclusive. And it inflicts poison that gets steadily worse, as in inflicting more damage every turn. And now that Starmie is poisoned, as I've said many times before, it is only a matter of time before it faints. Unfortunately, was unable to get the Leech Seed in there, but that's fine. Anyway, poison, I believe, only takes effect on, on turns when you don't die. So since I fainted and had to switch out, the poison didn't affect that turn. Unfortunate. But this means that, all going well, I can stall this person to death. She might have full restores. That would be unfortunate. But clearly this is the pinnacle of thrilling gameplay. And you are now extremely aware of how slow the surf animation is. So diversifying a bit, we get Confuse Ray, but this also means that that's one less turn that I have to heal, and if things had gone my way, I could have gotten a Strength in there and drastically decreased the amount of time I needed to wait for this thing to die. Alas, that's just not the case. But you can already see that Toxic is doing its thing. It's getting worse and worse, or better and better. I always feel weird referring to it as getting worse. But look at how much damage that's doing. It is going to go down in the next few turns. Oh, you cur. I don't know why she waited so long for that to happen. But looks like Starmie goes down anyway. Wonderful. And that takes care of Misty in Crystal. actually pretty different since I didn't have Giga Drain. I probably could have had a grass type move had I wanted one, but I didn't. So there's some diversity for you. And she will also give you TM3, which I believe is Water Pulse. Yes, sir. A bit weak for this stage in the game, it's 60 base power, but it does have the possibility of confusing your foe. And if you love confusing things, like I do, then it can be very much up your alley. Now let's just head back. And we've more or less taken care of this side of the region, so I will see you guys next time for Hello Mother. I will see you guys next time for our trek to the west.